Hello once again. Here I am shooting a video real quick. It's been a while since I had uploaded a video, and I have a give a reason for doing that. It wasn't a good one, but I had had an accident here in my house. I was walking down the hallway, and a new item was placed in the hallway that had, I guess, been at knee level, and then in doing so, I hadn't paid attention that it was there. I was paying attention more to the item that was in my hand because I was working on creating a new DIY project, and in doing so, hit my knee really hard, bounced off a little bit with an immense amount of throbbing pain, and something gave way in my knee. Now, being a little bit older, bouncing off of things tends to be a little bit more hard to recover from. Not like when I guess I was younger and bouncing off of things was a natural occurrence of being just someone who had just way too much energy and courage to carry out, I guess, my own stunts. So I've been hobbling around for a while. I tried doing a DIY project even while I was in pain, and I was creating a couple of walking canes. I can't really show them on video because the dimensions on my impromptu bench are very, very small. They're just a little bit over. My new bench is a little bit over a foot wide, so it's very difficult to show how to do a DIY cane. I would have to shoot it from, I think, roughly about 5 feet up in the air. And in doing so, like I said, I didn't really make any canes. I just tried to. I would need a couple more attachments in doing so, but it's not that difficult for an individual such as myself. So that being stated, I found myself just hobbling around for a while, and using a cue stick as a cane, a cue stick for pull as a cane. So all in all, I am doing a little bit better now. Still in pain. I'll be okay. No big deal. I blame myself for not paying attention to a new item in my house. Okay, so today's video is actually something that was one of those projects, DIY projects that show up at an odd hour. I had a request from an individual that had asked to remain anonymous, but I did ask him permission to upload the project, and it turns out that it involves LED lighting. Okay, so they have halogen torture lamps. Those are the lamps that are on the floor, and they stand roughly about 5 feet or almost 6 feet up in the air. And those lamps have a tendency of putting out a lot of heat, therefore adjusting the temperature to um, an unbearable level. Because halogen lamps put out a lot of heat, you have to turn up the AC, and therefore you're constantly battling the heat from the lamp and the temperature from the AC, and it makes it kind of odd and kind of humid in there. So, in doing so, it was requested of me to find a solution, and I know I had one already in mind from a previous project that I had taken down because it served its purpose, and I ended up installing a manufactured LED lighting or housing. But while proving concept, I actually had these LED strips just in case a fluorescent light went out of my house. Okay. Giving you the specifications of this item. Um, it is actually a 50 cm, 12 volt, 36 LED, 50/50 aluminum aluminum strip or a U channel type of LED housing. is actually composed of 4 parts. The little mounting areas back here, the aluminum portion is right here. If I can just persuade this just real quick. Here's the aluminum U-channel. Okay, so all in all, it is a very easy item to work with. It is 12 volt, white in color, and it is for projects for around the house. The lighting fixture was located in the garage area, and when the fluorescent light gave out, I didn't foresee the need for installing more fluorescent lighting because the ballast portion of it was constantly going out. The ballast is a black box that's situated in the housing for fluorescent lights, and in doing so they have a tendency of going out because the garage was an extremely hot area. And the ballast cost a considerable amount of money depending on the length of the fluorescent lights. They can go upwards of $50 or more, and when that item does go out, it drives the electricity or converts electricity for fluorescent lighting. So it was constantly burning up bulbs. So I decided enough was enough. I ordered these lights here, these LED lights. Okay, so the person that had asked me to help them with their situation, their halogen torture lamps, are no longer going to be turning the lamps on. They're just going to be using them as decoration. So these LED lights put out a lot in terms of brightness. Okay, they are 12 volts DC. So I'm going to take an AC to DC converter, and I'm not promoting this company, it's just the label that's on there. And I can blur this out if I need to. If requested, I can blur this out, or just put my thumb over it. Okay, so this thing has 12 volts on here, and if you know the polarity, you can use this item to power this light strip. And I can show you, if I put it on a lower setting, 7.5, it will light up this strip. Okay, let me try that again. I already have the polarity backwards. Almost there. Okay. Apparently it's not being very cooperative, but I'm going to try one thing. Okay, I'm going to momentarily pause the video. Okay, so here it is. Look how bright that is. It actually causes the lens to flare on my smartphone. So if I were to turn it down just a little bit more to, I think, 4 volts, it'll still turn this on. But it'll be very dim. This is proof of concept, right? 4 volts, I would recommend it being used at 7 volts. And its max driven voltage is 12. Okay, so I'm going to leave it connected. The way I started the process was that I checked for voltage on my multimeter to make sure the adapter was working properly. This item right here can run you upwards of $20, and I advised the person that I'm helping that this is the most expensive item in the new kit that I'm going to be creating for them. Okay, so this is a $20 item. Sorry, $20. I'm not going to include the cost of the multimeters. These are mine. But essentially, your multimeters can run you way less than $10, depending on where you get them from. Okay, used a little bit of electrical tape. Later on, I'll be soldering the connections together because it makes a better connection, and still using electrical tape or it's some given connectors that I can show you just right now. Sorry about pausing the video, but it makes it easier to pause the video instead of having to go back and edit the gaps where I'm actually looking for items. Okay, so red is positive, and these are blade type connectors. Okay, you crimp them with a tool such as this one. You take this crimping tool and you place your terminals in here in the appropriate size. I won't be crimping this one, but I'm just showing you by example. And you crimp it down once the wire's in here. Okay, so all in all, let's go through the process. You cut the wire. And yes, you can cut the wire with any given tool that I show you, but I like the ease of use. These are small diagonal cutters. Okay. You remove the insulation with this one. Okay, right here. There's a size selector, this little yellow size selector, and you strip the wire back. Okay, and then you take your positive side connector and then you crimp it to the positive side of the wire. And then your blue one is negative. Now the color coding doesn't determine the polarity. Okay, initially you would be using red and black, but I don't have black connectors, blade connectors, so I'm using blue. This does not determine polarity. The electricity determines polarity, and that's the reason why you have to use a multimeter to check for polarity. You put it on the appropriate setting, 20 volts and lower. You can use a multimeter with this one, and it has higher sections on it. It'll go all the way up to, I suppose, 200 and above volts, but I won't be using this on 200 volts and above. Me personally, I'd rather hire a contractor. Anything above 110, you should hire a contractor, or 110. Okay, and I checked for continuity in my connections with this item right here, this multimeter. Okay, so in doing so, once the process was done, I used electrical tape around these blade type connectors, and the end result was this: a working LED lamp. I did give the individual that asked for my help, the gentleman that asked for my help, he asked how many LED lights were a good idea. I have 4 to spare. So all in all, I will be charging for the installation process. 4 of these LED strips, they can run you upwards of $5. If you're very savvy, you can find them for less, so long as you're comfortable with the quality of build. Okay, so all in all, we have the adapter, which is roughly $20. But remember, this is my adapter, So now I have to go out and purchase another one. So I had to charge them a little bit of a fee for that. For me having to replace this one. So nobody should take this personally. When you ask for assistance, I will be charging for this item. For the replacement, I will be charging close to $40 because remember, I am sacrificing this one. I know this one works. It has been a workhorse. So right here we're looking at 40 plus $5 per LED strip. So that's $20 and $40. So all in all, the entire kit plus installation is going to be a grand total of about $100. All right. So the reason I need to charge that much is because it does take a lot of effort to put a kit together, even though I had it at my house. So all in all, this can turn out to be a $100 kit. Remember, installation and troubleshooting incurs a fee. And of course, shipping and handling. I'm still going to have to pay for shipping and handling for the replacement of these items. So all in all, we're looking at about a grand total of about $100. In the kit in its entirety, the multimeters cannot be included. And in the installation process, they're just the tools of the trade. Okay? You can look up these items and they have their given value. This item I found in a parking lot, but it still has its given value if you choose to buy one. Okay? Everything here has a given value. Even down to the alligator clips that I'm using. Right here, just off of, camera shot. I'm using alligator clips to temporarily show you that this item does light up. Okay, so once again, I appreciate your patience. The reason I'm uploading this video is because this is a DIY kit that has been proven to be very reliable, very low cost, because it's going to be running a converted 110 to 12 volts. So it's going to save the person electricity and heat. I can literally hold this in my hand for a long period of time compared to halogen lamps, and it'll never get hot. Forewarning that this item does get warm. So that's the reason why you want to use a high quality one. I've used this for hours to light up LED lights and is yet to get warm. So I'm giving up a very reliable item that I'm going to have to find another one. And of course, I'm going to be buying a quality one because it is for a test bench scenario. So, appreciate your patience. Thank you. And y'all have a good day. And we'll see you next time. To shoot the bonus portion of the video, I had lost track of this item. And it is a little bit dirty, but still. I lost track of this item, and this turns out, here's today's bonus feature for this video. This was once part of an educational science kit. The cardboard portion of it had been tattered to the point that it was no longer usable. But lo and behold, here's a battery holder for, I believe, D-sized batteries. It has LEDs, blinking LEDs, to keep the students' attention. Apparently the cardboard piece was up here. And it could have been part of a science kit, I think. I'm not too sure. But still, here's our bonus. A battery holder that was going to be thrown away because the cardboard portion of it that was in front was no longer usable, or I guess out of date. Either or. But a battery holder is still a battery holder. It's not the battery holder's fault that its usefulness is no longer required. Now, watch this. I'm going to pause the video just for a couple of seconds. This battery holder, even though these size batteries are 1.5, so just do the math, times 3, will light up these LEDs. Well, guess what? I can put an 18, 6, oh my goodness, this battery in here. Oh my goodness, hold on. Let me figure this out. 18650 battery, I believe. I can put this in here. If I can just persuade it enough. I'll probably have to mold the plastic a little more, but either way, I can use this as a battery holder. I can take this portion out, cut this out, cutting the tab out, and I can use this as a battery holder now in the PVC pipe. Or I could still use it as a D size battery holder, and it could power the cordless drill. the driver, the one that I showed you in the previous video. So this is 4.7, 18650, I believe. Let me look this up real quick. It's on here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Getting closer. Getting closer. Bear with me. There it is. 18650 batteries. I'll just have to cut the wires off, or persuade them off. I won't cut them. I'll just desolder them. And I'll put this in here. Somehow. I'll figure this out. But either way, it's a battery holder. So there you go. The bonus feature of the day is sometimes new DIY projects or ideas can show up in very odd places. If you're savvy enough and you're willing to, I guess, request that the item not be thrown away, but you take the cardboard off and here you go. So, appreciate your patience. Once again, y'all have a good day. See you on the next video.